go. All right. Hey, Patriots, how you doing? It's February 11th, 2024, day 1131 of the Age of Absurdity. This is J6 News Updates and Chat, and we're going to be going over Freedom Corner Vigil number 559 down in D.C. at the Gulag. Welcome, Patriots. Let's keep updated on what's going on with our J6ers. It's a never-ending battle. Never-ending battle. Hello, Pathfinder Patriot. How are you? Good. I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Hey, silly for him. Good to see you. We got links already. What's going on out in the world today here? Active shooter at Joel Olstein's Lakewood Church. Wow. What in the world? We got a church shooter. All right. I found it interesting that yesterday in the chat, somebody was saying about a sniper that was in with the convoy or trying to get in with the convoy. They will do anything to infiltrate anything good that we try to do. So, Patriots, we got to keep our heads on a swivel. I found it interesting that I went through that whole convoy and didn't hear a thing about some sniper. But somebody over in England has the scoop on it, you know. So these are things that are inserted into these movements to try to discredit them, for sure. And this active shooter, let's see what pans out with that. Another MK Ultra person or what? Let's just see what happens with that. That's news to me, silly. It's on YouTube. All right. Hello, Docs and Grandma and Beverly and Lisa. How are you doing? So I gave that, yesterday we had that wounded red-tailed hawk over there. And I went out, I called that Raven Ridge sanctuary, the raptor sanctuary that you gave me the link for, silly. And they said, yeah, go pick the thing up. Bring it down here. It was a 20, I could drive down there in about 20 minutes. I came back up here and just scouted the whole area again, and I couldn't find that hawk. So I'm kind of in the same area right now. I'm across the street. Who knows? Maybe the thing will come walking up to me again here while we're doing this live stream, and we'll get the rescue on a live stream. We'll see how it goes here, though. But anyways, we could go over Freedom Corner last night. Another great Freedom Corner, man. A lot of Patriots standing on the corner still. 559 nights in a row. Standing up for the free speech rights of our J6ers. Hey, Sherry Thomas, how are you? Tina McCloy, hello. Good to see you. I love all your input that we had yesterday. We had a good chat going on there, didn't we? Everybody feeding in information there. We had Julius and Silly for him and Deb for freedom, all chipping in there, man. Small Water Guy even had a couple of witty things to say. Silly, I looked, man. I went through the whole wood line and everything. I looked all over the place I found 2 groundhogs, but didn't find the hawk. So he might have went across the street here. This is the Landis Valley, Pennsylvania Farm Museum right here behind me. And this is also another uninhabited area. So there aren't any pets here, no pet dogs and stuff. And on the other side where we saw that thing, there is a big abandoned barn with a lot of ways into it. So I'm thinking it went into there to hide down, and I'm sure there's a lot of like mice and stuff in there. So I'm not too worried about the thing surviving. You are always witty there, Smalley. Love your input though, man. I love your input. So yesterday in Freedom Corner, Sherry led us off in a great prayer last night. Nicole got on the phone right away and was talking about it was Chinese New Year yesterday. It's the year of the dragon. Chinese New Year. Stormtrooper was saying how down at the mall he could hear for like 20 minutes they were setting off firecrackers and stuff. Said it was pretty cool to watch that. And then we had the Rebecca and Dwight and Lily weren't there last night, but Young was. He's the guy that waves the 2 flags around all the time. And he got on the phone here in a little bit. We'll get on that. But Nicole was saying how nice it was to have Marie Jonatakis there. That's Taylor's wife. She came in for a visit all the way from the West Coast. And I think that Marie stayed with Nicole and Tammy at the house there. And then another person's friend, Stella, made it there too, all the way in from Albuquerque, New Mexico. So we got Patriots coming in from all over the country. We had Mama Earth there a couple of weeks ago. She's in from California. She's doing flag waves and Trump rallies and stuff out there. Mama Earth was also in on the Yuma, Arizona convoy from last weekend. That was awesome to see everybody getting involved, man. And that's what we got to do. We all got to get involved here. We can't just sit back and let the government fix itself here, because it's not going to happen that way, for sure. Chris Quaglin got on the phone and was just like talking about another day in the gulag, you know, what they do. A lot of playing spades, working out, getting news information and putting together their documents for their trials and stuff. Chris Quaglin is looking at 14 felonies, and he still has not had a trial. And I don't know exactly how many days Chris Quaglin's been in jail, but it's a lot. And this should all be an outrage, man. This has been going on for 1,130 days. Where are all the legal professionals standing up for our rights? Where's all these state attorney generals that are supposed to be protecting the constitutional rights of the people in their states? You know, there's 50 state attorney generals that haven't done anything about standing up for their citizens, their state citizens' constitutional rights. And it's just bewildering how this just keeps going on. Another day, another 100 days, another 100 days. And nobody does a thing about it, except us people that we don't know what's going on. I could barely operate a cell phone, let alone tell you how the judicial system works. So I don't get it. Don't get it. It's bewildering. This is Taylor Jonatakis' website, Peasant's Perspective. Him and his wife Marie put this together, and they are just 2 outstanding patriots, man. Very, God-centered family people that love God, family, and their country, standing up for freedom on January 6th. And Taylor got, caught up in the dragnet of the biggest DOJ operation in the history of the United States that is continuing to this day. It continues to go on, man. All right, Tina McCloy says, talked to DJ yesterday, is doing well, passing along a high. All right, man, DJ Rodriguez. Good to know you're doing all right over there in San Diego, or he's in Southern California somewhere. Who else was I wondering about? All right, we'll get into this here in a second. Chris Quaglin is still denied trial, so he's still waiting for a trial. He's talking about with Tammy on the phone, life in D.C. He saw a TV show about all the restaurants in D.C., and Tammy was just saying, well, yeah, they all leave a little bit left to be desired, rarely when they get to go out to eat. The restaurants just aren't that great, but I guess they make them look good on TV shows. And that you got to risk the carjackings, you got to risk getting mugged once you do find a parking spot. Finding parking spots in D.C. is just horrible, man. They make it illegal to park at all the common sense spots, and then they got paid parking all over the place. So you got to run the gauntlet, man. Is the parking police going to get you? Are you going to get mugged? Are you going to get carjacked? What's going to happen in D.C.? You know what? I just say stay away from D.C. and, we enjoy our lives here out in the away from the cities here. Okay, Tina McCloy reporting on Greg Rubenacher, looking for a halfway house situation in the Eastern District of New York City. So you've been looking around, Tina? That's awesome. See what we can find for these guys. I wouldn't even know how to start going about something like that. I suppose it involves a computer, right? So if anyone on the stream may have a good situation for Greg Rubenacher, let Tina McCloy know. We can try to get that information to her if you want to throw it in the chat here. Looking for a halfway house. That must mean he's getting towards the end of his sentence, which would be awesome. And Greg is a musician, a young guy, musician. He called into us several times from the Lewisburg Penitentiary when we were having Lewisburg vigils, when there was like 40 guys out there. So, man, I can't wait to see what Greg Rubenacher is going to do musically when he gets out. He was getting places with his music career, he was saying, where he was doing, the same guys that manage and run Eminem was also producing his shows too. All right, Critical Thinker, please look into this, y'all. Did Trump say, you know, they killed Ashley Babbitt yesterday at his South Carolina rally? It is on RSBN. You know they killed Ashley Babbitt. Yeah, for sure. All right, Tina, good luck searching for that. Eastern District of New York City. That'll be great when he gets out into a halfway house, man. See if we can help him out there. So yeah, Chris Quaglin, he has been refusing plea deals all along. Originally, he had 3 felonies that he was charged with, and every time he refused a plea deal, they would throw on another couple felonies. Now he's up to 14 felonies, hasn't had a trial yet. This is a total outrage. Shouldn't be allowed in America. There shouldn't be a need to even stand up against this, but our system is not self-perpetuating. Apparently, things have happened to our judges, to our court systems that shouldn't be happening to them. They've all been corrupted. The next phone call we got was from Taylor Jonatakis, and he was talking about the year of the dragon, and that from what he understands, the year of the dragon means it's the year of justice, which would be a good sign. That would be nice to see. And then he had some questions about it, and Young got up on the phone and was talking to him. And Young was just saying how, Taylor, you're a celebrity to us. You inspire us. And that could be the reason why Taylor was the guy that God picked to be calling out the Freedom Corner. And Taylor was just saying how, well, it's hard to know if his message is getting out and if his words have an impact. And Taylor kind of accepts this position that he would much rather not be going through this. But if he is the guy, if he's the guy in there that and then has this opportunity that Freedom Corner has made for them to call out and get on live streams and get this message out to the world, then Taylor's going to do everything that he can to make the most of that opportunity. All right, what do we got here? Needs to be the year of the small water guy. Saw something about Zach Rail in here. Hey, Rain and Blood, Tammy Mundy. How are y'all? What was that about Zach Rail? Tina McCloy. Zach Rail and I are working on getting him in touch with Congressional Mooser. Pray that will happen. All right, we got to get these Congress people involved here. All this outrageous stuff is happening in the D.C. courts down there. Our Congress people got to know about it because they are responsible for the city of D.C., basically. It's not a state. It's not just a city. It's the District of Columbia, and Congress is directly responsible for the government of that city. And they have let it get out of hand, man. Okay, Pathfinder Patriot says, has anyone seen the documentary called Riding the Dragon? It's about the Biden family. No, I have not seen that. I have not seen that. Boy, that would be great if this is the year of justice. We got to just keep fighting. It ain't going to happen if we don't fight for that, for sure. Taylor Jonatakis was saying how, was kind of talking about how the FBI contacted him, and then he talked to him. And then they went and met at a Starbucks, and they took his phone. And he just said, you know, I got nothing to hide, man. We operate in the light, okay? We don't hide in darkness. And he had a whole bunch of analogies about light and darkness, how, you know, God is light. If you are if you have the Spirit living in you, you are light too. You don't go into a lit up area. You go into the darkness to shine that light. And that's how I feel a lot of the events that have happened over the last 2 years with, you know, protesting down in D.C. and stuff. We are the light. We are exposing the wickedness that's down there that was in the darkness before. Nobody knew about this stuff that goes on in D.C. Nobody knew about the counter-protesters that come and just scream demonic stuff at us. Nobody knew about them that put the satanic spells in chalk all over the sidewalk around the courthouse there. Nobody knew about that stuff. But the live streamers brought that to the attention of the world, man. And that the cops just allow all this stuff. So, all right, Zach's wife, Tina McCloy says, Zach's wife is thinking about calling into the next Lewisburg Vigil. All right, no date set yet. We'll be looking forward to that. You guys are doing an awesome job with that vigil still, Tina. I wish I could get down there, but I'll be involved when you do the live stream. All right, Silly for Him found the link for Riding the Dragon. Whoop. You can find it on YouTube. And here it is. Nope. All right, that's subbed. That's so you can see the Lewisburg Vigil there. Wow, the links are coming in hot. Here we go. Riding the Dragon movie. Right there it is. You can check that out. All right, and Tina McCloy says, or maybe early March for the next Lewisburg Vigil. That would be outstanding, Tina. Outstanding. You and Roy get that one going on. Plus, however, the other Patriots in your Patriot group there. So they got a Patriot group there in the Lewisburg area. And these are people that get together and talk about their country and how they can get involved locally, statewide, nationwide on how to make an impact, how to unite together. So we got numbers. We're not all divided up into different arguments and stuff. You unite and get together and figure out how to do an impact. Ben Franklin did the same thing back in the day. You know, they would get together. They had juntas where they would get together. They would get 12 families together in the city, 12 wealthy families. They would determine who they could help out, what their resources were to help, who most needed this type of help. And it's an American tradition, really, until the government took over charity with the welfare system and Social Security and all that stuff. Here, this has got a little description about it. Riding the Dragon movie uncovered the secret world of Joe Biden and his family's relationship to China and the sinister business deals that enriched them at America's expense. How long does it got to go on? How long have we known this? It still goes on. That Joe Biden is just a complete buffoon, man. All right, and then we all know that Tina McCloy ran for school board. She won in her last election. And she says here, we flipped 3 school districts in Lycoming County. That's awesome, awesome. Here, where I live, our school district flipped over to the other way, the other direction. So I don't know what happened here, man. the Democrats just took over, and they're changing everything about it, you know? And I don't know why. And it takes a lot of time just to keep up on what they're doing and go into all their meetings and that, and I just don't have the time to do that. So I hope people with children in the schools here do that. I don't have any kids in these schools here. Among other things, there's so many just lame things that Democrats are doing with the zoning, with new construction around here. I mean, it's been going gangbusters for 40 years. Now, all of a sudden, this local guy who owns that dairy that I was at the other day, he wants to expand it into a supermarket and a housing village and stuff, but they won't let him do it, you know? They let out-of-town people come in here and build stores and malls and stuff like that, but then once this local guy wants to do it, for some reason, he can't do it, which doesn't seem fair to me. I would rather have the local guy build the mall than have some other company from out of state come in and do that. So yeah, Taylor's saying, we operate in the light, and we have our First Amendment right, and we have to exercise it or it goes away. It becomes custom to ignore a right if we don't stand up and exercise that right continually. Yeah, Tina, I know. I pay taxes. I have the right to go and speak. You're right. But we got this prison thing going on. We got these voter meetings. I got this website. There's just so much to do. There's only so much time in a day. And it's hard to keep up with it all. Taylor was saying that he is willing to be the guy that has his voice out on the live streams from the Gulag onto Freedom Corner, out into the live streams, out into the world. And even though it may be at great peril to himself. So, I mean, that's a leader. That is a strong, courageous leader that's willing to put his own safety on the line in order to stand up and exercise your First Amendment rights. So it'd be great if we all back him up and do the same thing. And that is what I'm trying to do here with everything that I'm doing here. All right, and then Taylor Jonatakis had some really bad news here about the J6er Reed Christensen. He's the older guy, 65-year-old guy who wrote that book, Save the Kid. We've heard from him many times at Freedom Corner. 2 weeks ago, he got transferred out of the Gulag, and apparently he is in the Philadelphia prison right now. And he's been there for about 2 weeks, and they've received word that he is not getting his medicines. Reed has had 2 strokes prior to getting arrested and needs this medicine to maintain his health, so that because he is at risk of getting more strokes. So apparently he hasn't been given his medicines for 2 weeks now, and that's another form of psychological torture on somebody. You're in a prison. They have a duty to maintain the health and the condition of the people, that their conditions don't get worse while they're in the treatment of the facility. You're being punished by losing your freedom and spending time in prison, but that's no excuse for them to abandon any health programs that you're on or injury, medical attention that you may need for injuries and whatnot. So, Reed Christensen, I don't know what we're going to do, man. Philadelphia is near here. I wanted to do a stream out there for a long time. I'm going to start looking into that again and maybe do a live stream out there in Philadelphia. It is a big, nasty, ugly-looking prison 2 blocks away from the Freedom, the Liberty Bell. Right? 3 blocks away from Constitution Hall is where this Philadelphia prison is. It's a big high-rise downtown prison, if it's that prison that I'm thinking about. So I got to do some investigation on that. Yeah, Tina probably needs anticoagulants and blood pressure meds, for sure, for sure. Here we go, covering for Sleepy Joe. White House removes Biden's disastrous Thursday night press conference and unlists the video from White House YouTube page. They'll just cover up for everything. What are they going to do with Joe? Poor Joe. Okay. Yeah, it's hard, when you're running around trying to fight all these battles, and there's just all these oblivious people that don't do a thing. It's horrible. All right, Denari says, or Donneray, Jericho, Newsmax, Wendy Bell Show had the J6 political hostages singing. All right. So tonight is Flick It for Freedom, which is Sunday night when they sing the Liberty or the National Anthem at 9 o'clock. You go out and flick your lights on and off. Try to bring some attention to the J6 issues. Yeah, Joe is a millstone around the neck. Hey, Deb for Freedom. Yeah, it's horrible, man. And Reed Christensen is an amazing patriot, man. And great guy. Just loves God, family, and country, man. He doesn't even want us to give him money for commissary because he says, I got this. Give it to somebody else. All right, Dead for Freedom. Here's the U.S. Marshal phone numbers. Leave a message. Maybe we should get them starting to look after Reed Christensen. Reed Christensen is in transit to wherever he is going to be serving out his sentence. He's been tried and convicted and sentenced in D.C., and now they're farming him out to a BOP facility, a Bureau of Prisons facility. And until he gets there, the U.S. Marshal Service are in charge of his well-being. So let's give them a call and ask them to please look after the condition of Reed Christensen and make sure that he is getting his medicine, because it has been reported to us that he is not getting his medicine. Thanks, Deb. Awesome. And check out Deb for Freedom's phone call shorts that she's putting out. She just got the one out from the new guy, Wyatt. Okay, then Taylor Jonatakis was just talking about how Taylor's got farm animals. He's got horses and cows and mules and stuff, and he was saying how he's in charge of when they get fed and when they get let in and out, when they get, put behind bars in order to keep them safe and stuff. And he's just saying how these jails, man, they get breakfast at 5 in the morning sometimes. They get breakfast at 8 in the morning sometimes. There's no regularity whatsoever there. They'll get dinner at 5 o'clock at night. They'll get dinner at 8 o'clock at night. You have no idea. If you sleep through breakfast, you don't get breakfast. You got to wake up and get it when they bring it to your cell. And the treatment of these men and women is worse than animals, is what they're. And that's time after time after time. That's been proven to us. Yeah, it does seem like they are human trafficking, and that the Marshal Service is a slave trade thing. I can see that analogy, man. So yeah, call to action there. Hey, Ridgeline, how are you? Call to action on Reed Christensen, if we can. Let me post that one more time here. So get the pen and paper out. This is one of them shows. You need pen and paper to watch this show, so you get all the information that we're putting out there. Give the Marshal Service a call on behalf of Reed Christensen. And then check out Deb for Freedom's channel here. It's great, man. She does a really good job on that. So I believe that Marie Jonatakis has gone home. She was not at the Vigil last night. And Mickey Widoff is not at the Vigil lately. She has gone home for a couple of weeks of rest. And we hope she's resting up well, Mickey. We will continue to carry the torch while you just get some R&R, get out of that city for a while. It gets to you really bad. The next phone call last night was from Brian Jackson and Curtis Tate. And it was just another kind of life in prison glimpse of what, you know, the times and the trials and the tribulations of being in prison there. Curtis was saying about how on Saturdays he's got his commissary food and he's trying to slim down a little, he was saying. And so he's like trying not to eat too much, but on Saturdays he lets loose. And then he regrets it every Sunday morning because he wakes up and his hands are swollen and he's, you know, his skin is all bad because he just ate a bunch of, you know, processed commissary food, you know, beef jerky and ramen noodles and stuff like that. So the food there is horrible, but he does, like, say once a week he lets loose and splurges on it. The Saturday night is that night, man. And then Brian and Curtis wanted to hear about the Texas convoy that was last weekend. So we had our own Sapphire Patriot. She got up there and told them about how awesome it was to be in that convoy. And then right from Sherry, you know, Sherry is Sapphire Patriot. She was in that convoy. She pulled into that ranch. It was an ecstatic moment driving the last hour into that ranch where they were going through these towns in Texas. And the townspeople were all out waving flags along the side of the road for this convoy. The convoy was up to 8 miles long at one point, pulling into that ranch there. And there was 500 cars at that ranch by the time that whole thing ended. And just hearing the news right from somebody who was there is what the whole point of being live streams, getting your information from live streams is. Hello, USA gal. Hey, USA guy. How's it going, man? Sean, how you doing? What do we got here? DC Council appoints paroled murderer to sentencing commission? Oh, my God. What are we going to do with DC? These people are mentally ill. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't know, Tina, how these guys in the prison stay well. It is a puzzle how they can be healthy with the food that they get in there. I mean, what we hear they're eating is horrible. And there was an edict put out that they had to improve the food as of January 1st, but I have not heard of anything that got any better. But there have been many complaints made about the food in there, and they had a meeting last year, and as of January 1st, they were supposed to be making improvements to the food. Of course, there's 2,000 guys in that prison, okay? That place is maxed out. And, I mean, that's got to be a huge kitchen in there, right? And I guess they go with steward, or what do they call them? Prisoners that work in the kitchen and stuff. So that's got to be an ordeal, putting 2,000 meals together 2 or 3 times a day there. Yeah, you don't, right on, silly. You don't write them, you just post them. That's right. All right, Sean says, I'm doing pretty good. Be in Chicago tomorrow. All right, Sean, get in there. Show us Chicago. Show us what's going on. There's a lot of hot topics going on in Chicago, that's for sure. And a lot of cool stuff you could just show us. I don't know. Rain and Blood. I think the timing of meals to prisoners may have to do with changing route each day. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Rain and Blood. You would think that they would have a procedure every morning, you know. You make this cart of food for this cell block, for, you know, this pod, C3A pod should be at the same time every time, I would imagine. I don't, you know, when I got a job and I'm doing some repetitive work and stuff, I kind of figure out the process to get it done the easiest way, and then I do it that way every day. coming up with a new way of doing it every morning. That doesn't seem very logical. There was a change in the guards there, yes, Tina. And they got rid of some problem COs, correctional officers. So that change may not be needing to be followed. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure on that. And maybe we could hear more about that on the next phone calls or something. But yeah, I don't invent a new way of doing the same thing every day. It's making food for all the prisoners. I would imagine that you do it the same way every day. But apparently not. Not in D.C. So yeah, Sherry was talking about this convoy. There was a J6er there. So this convoy was to take our border back, to get the government to shut down the border. Everybody that was watching it was calling in the Congress and leaving comments about shutting the border down. But a lot of the people that originated that whole convoy, that started off from the Virginia Beach starting point, were people from Freedom Corner, or people that had been to Freedom Corner. There was Master Grifter, Glory B, Sapphire Patriot in Kentucky. It was just great watching them go down there. So they had the J6 message with them along the whole route. And it seemed like every time they stopped somewhere, they ended up talking about J6 for a while. And we all know that Ted Nugent got up at the one stopping point. This wasn't at the stopping point at the border, but I think it was in Texas. There was a stopping point in Texas where Ted Nugent got up and played the national anthem, spoke for about 5 or 10 minutes, brought up J6, and then Sarah Palin was there that night, and J6er Ryan Zink, who is running for office, and Trennis Evans, another J6er that stood up and gave small speeches at that one stopping area. So it turned into a J6 rally in the middle of the Take Our Border Back convoy, man. All right, yes, we'll post that one, critical. Prayer warriors unite. We got power in the prayer. Our God is bigger. That's right. That was Dripping Springs, Texas, where the Ted Nugent and Sarah Palin and all them got up and spoke. And it was awesome. And then Sherry, at 9 o'clock, got the whole crowd to sing the national anthem. At the same time, they were singing it down at the Gulag, man. And Sherry initiated that whole thing. I mean, we were so proud of her, man. Doing such an awesome job. And you got to contribute to keep her down there. I mean, her heart is in it, but she's not made of money down there, and it costs a lot of money to keep Sherry and Trooper and all the Patriots down there. So it is critical to support the streamers, especially the ones that are down in Freedom Corner, you know. In order to keep them there, they have to get money, no doubt about it. And I know it's tough, but if you can, contribute to their accounts on their live streams there. Wow, well, here you go, Sean. Tina McCloy's got some info for you here. GB had a video clip on Ted on stage. Or no, wait a second. This is in Chicago. Tina McCloy reports, I saw a report concerning the city take over a neighborhood park and turning it over to the illegals who are in Chicago. Yeah, there were several things that I saw down there too. There's many little battles going on in a couple of different neighborhoods. One was an abandoned church that they already have modified into apartments for these people. The city park, and then they found toxic chemicals in the soil at this park. So they weren't allowed to set up a tent camp there, but the people didn't know that the park that they were letting their kids play in had toxic soil in it, you know. exposing all the wickedness, man. All right, let's pray for Mike Lindell. He is being shadow banned. Yeah, man, that guy, he just put himself out there, and he's taking the hit with his business and stuff. Like Fox wouldn't air his commercials anymore. All the stores refuse to sell his products now. And that is who our enemy is, patriots. It's the globalists. It's the corporate powerhouses in this country that are globalist, and we just keep giving them our money. So we got to stop giving them our money. Investigate where your money's going before you give it to somebody. If you have a choice of buying an American product or something that's made in, China, you might pay more, but it's definitely to your benefit to give that money to an American company. So Mike Lindell also, we'll get to that here shortly. But Sherry, it was really cool to hear Sherry give a report, boots on the ground report to the J6ers, to Brian Jackson and Curtis Tate in the Gulag about that convoy. It was just awesome, man. News right from the source. Ted Nugent, Sarah Palin, Lara Logan, Ryan Zink, Trennis Evans, all involved with that. And then we got word that there's big protests going on in Canada right now. Justin Trudeau is trying to take the gun rights away from Canadians. And there's a big uprising going on in Canada at the same time. And we stand with you, Canada. We want you free. We want you to be a sovereign nation. We want these tyrannical globalists out of power. They don't deserve to be in power. They used that COVID on us, killed millions of people. They allow this wanton immigration to go on and fentanyl drug trade running and human smuggling. So we stand with the free people of the world. We the people worldwide. Chicago does seem to be flipping red, but we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm tired of the red tsunami talk. Every time I hear people saying, oh, Trump's going to win 2024 for sure. Warning, 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 man. He did not win yet. We got to make sure he wins. And the red tsunami, just never forget the red tsunami. It never happened. And the election before that, they were saying that too. Barack Obama's second term, man, they were saying the same thing, that the red wave was going to eject Barack Obama out of the office, and who was it, McCain running that time? All right, here we got the neighborhood recreation center taken over by the city of Boston last week for illegals is already full with 400 people. Keep them in the cities. Let the cities deal with us. They're the ones that voted for it. Let them pay for it. That's what I say. I got no mercy for these Democrats that voted in, supposedly, FJB. It's hard to believe it. FJB got 81 million votes. More votes ever than in history. And Donald Trump got more votes for an incumbent president ever, too. So it's kind of like impossible, statistically impossible, that FJB got 81 million votes. It's just, it's hogwash, man. And nothing's gotten fixed here in Pennsylvania, man. We're putting the mail-in ballots out all over the place again. Letting the U.S. Postal Service be a central part of our election system, which is not a good idea. Not a good idea. But our representatives have just given it over to them. Okay, now we got, after Brian Jackson and Curtis Tate, we had Nicole get on the microphone and remind us about Olivia Pollack. Her and two other relatives of hers are going through trials right now in D.C. They're in the Gulag, and her two male relatives are in the C3A pod with the Patriots, but Olivia is by herself in a cell in another part of the prison because it's the women's side of the prison, and they don't have a whole cell block for J6ers there. So she is pretty much, it's solitary, but she has a cell, you know. It's not like she's in the hall. She has a regular cell, and but she's all by herself. So if we can, write her a letter or something. Give her some type of an encouragement. The Pollocks were a family that came up from Florida when Nicole and Guy Reffitt was on trial. They came up just to pray at the courthouse with Nicole. And they're very close to Nicole's heart. So definitely, let's say every night, pray for these guys. Pray for these families that are getting demolished by FJB. Keep them together. And God is doing. Praise God that he is keeping them together, in fact. Nobody volunteered up there for illegals to live in their house. How about that? They put a call out for people to let illegals reside in their houses up there in the New England area. All right, USA's reporting Brighton Park camp for Chicago migrants. That's one of them, yes. Well, good luck, Sean. I mean, there's a chunk of reporting you can show us, man. Everybody's dying to see what's going on up there. So, and if he gets up there, make sure he's got money to get home, you know. If you like what the live streamers are doing, definitely contribute to them. We're all used to paying $100 for cable, right? So we've all cut the cable. So we got to support the live streamers so this live streaming can continue to show us exactly what's happening. All right, we got links coming in hot here. Washington school superintendent on leave after video appears to capture her ripping down campaign signs. Wow. Middle school behavior. Unbelievable. Massachusetts was where they asked them to live in the houses here. Holy smokes, I can't keep up. What do we got here? Dead for Freedom puts in the Epic Times. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin transferred to hospital. Pentagon says, ooh, maybe his bottom surgery didn't go well. What was Lloyd Austin in the hospital for? That's what I want to know. I think he was having bottom surgery. That's just my opinion, though. Okay. Okay, this is a little clearer. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has been remitted to a hospital, the Pentagon said on Sunday afternoon. So who's in charge of the military? That's the head guy of the United States of America's military right there. Yeah, Greg, we got the message on the Olstein church shooting here. It was a news flash we had up right early in the stream, Greg. That's right, cancel your cable. There is nothing but lies coming out of the mainstream media. Lies and omissions. And yes, they are saying it was cancer, Greg, but we can't believe a word they say. So what was it, really? And who really cares? The point is, who's in charge of the military, I think. But he's back in the hospital now, apparently, according to what we're getting reported here by our wonderful, awesome mods. You guys are awesome. Okay, so yeah, if you can, if you're a letter writer, if you're one of the people that can put together a nice letter, get on Patriot Mail Project and give Olivia Pollock a note of encouragement. That would go a long way to helping her get through what she just has to get through. Allie Waters, we put a post up at the very beginning of the video about that Joel Osteen church shooting. I haven't heard about it yet until Sylvia put the link in here. Okay, USA reporting from Chicago. The state said it will help speed up the process of setting up a shelter at the former CVS pharmacy. Wow, man. So these people in that neighborhood used to have a CVS pharmacy, and the crime waves made them back, CVS pull out of there. Now they can live with the migrants. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Okay, so then Jeff Sable got on the line last night. They sang an awesome, awesome national anthem. And then Tammy and Nicole were saying about how the haters made some kind of nasty video about them or something. Like, who cares? Who cares? I'll bet it's on Twitter. I'll bet that's on Twitter. That's where you go to see the garbage these people do. And by the way, if there's no doubt about it, there's haters in here watching us right now. You guys need to accept Jesus, man. You got to accept Jesus. You're a sinner. You're going to burn in eternal damnation because you have fallen. You have fallen from the grace of God. And you need to reconcile your relationship with God in order to tap into the awesome love and wisdom that you can attain from the Holy Spirit. So you need, like, Jesus shed his blood on the earth to atone for your sins. And all you got to do is accept it. And once you accept it, then you get to know about your Savior, because you don't know about your Savior because you're a troll. And as soon as you just apply the blood of Christ, atone for your sins, then you can reconcile a relationship with the one true God and have a happy life. And then you don't have to be a troll anymore. So there's our little troll missionary statement. And then Jeff Sable was talking about this movie, The Selection Code. I looked into this a little bit more. This is a movie about Tina Peters, who was a Colorado election worker who came out with a lot of information about the rigged election of 2020. And she did some things where she tried to make a copy of the programming in one of the machines. This is the movie Selection Code is a movie that was produced by Mike Lindell. Lara Logan is in it. Tina Peters is a grandmother, and she just wanted to bring light to the fact that that election was rigged in 2020. And it had to do with the Colorado voting machines. Now, I found this movie. If you want to go see it, it's on a Rumble channel called The Real Tina Peters. That's the name of the Rumble channel. And then the name of the movie is Selection Code, Election Fraud with Tina Peters. And it's a 1-hour movie. And I watched about, 20 minutes of it so far. I have seen this movie before, and I was familiar with when they arrested Tina Peters. And but that was a while ago. So she is currently going through the courts, trying to prove her innocence, and they are throwing the book at her, man. Okay. That's okay, Allie Waters. You could, as long as you get in here, we know you're a patriot. Hi, Bonnie. Hello. Another great mod. Okay, I got lost in the chat here. Okay, the Assistant Secretary of Defense is in charge right now. Greg, did you look up Victoria Nuland yet from the our Ukraine ambassador? Coalition of more than a dozen churches began picking up migrants from police stations last week. Okay, that's in Chicago. So there's a lot going on there, Sean. A lot of potential content for you there, man. Okay, and then here's a website with the Tina Peters movie on it, I presume. Selection Code movie and website. So you can go to the website or go to that Rumble channel, the Real Tina Peters Rumble channel. Thank you, Sylvia. You guys are awesome with these links. We just get so much information out there in a little short broadcast here. Yes, Tina Peters was exposing the fraud that happened in her state. She saw it firsthand. The whole thing about it is the corruption that was in the Dominion voting machines there. A lot of shady stuff going on with those Dominion machines. These machines cost millions and millions of dollars. Every state, I don't know if every state bought them, but Pennsylvania bought them. Our Rhino Republicans at the voter meeting here was saying, oh, we need another $80 million to update all the machines. Just wasting our money so that they can cheat the election better. It's not very cool at all. Wish more people would wake up to these things. So that's about it, Patriots. Man, we just went over a ton of news there. Thank you, mods, for contributing to that. Yeah, that's what I say, Cleo. No more machines and one-day voting. One-day voting, voter ID, paper ballots, and no machines. It's that simple. If we can do that, we don't got to spend $80 million on voting machines to Dominion, who won't tell us what the programming is in there. They actually have argued in court that they don't have to tell us what the programming does in those machines because that's confidential information. So even though we paid them millions of dollars for their machines, they don't have to tell us about the programming in those machines. So, and I think we can come up with some easy way. My Rhino guy here with the voting board says that when humans try to count ballots, it's notoriously rife with mistakes and stuff. But I think we can get over that if we just sit down and talk about a couple of technical things there. I'm sure we could get a lot of volunteers to help count that. We could even bring machines in as long as the Republicans can bring their machine in and the Democrats could bring their machine in, and we could run the ballots through both of them machines, and if the number doesn't match, we don't get that pile off of there until they match, because there is no reason why they shouldn't match. And then you can prove the machines when they're working and when they're not. I think it's real simple, but they won't go to simple route to figuring this out. Bonnie, yeah, I saw something that Oreo put out, I think, or maybe it was Master Grifter, where they saw illegals coming across the border, the southern border, and the Border Patrol was nowhere to be seen, and these buses of NGOs, non-government organizations, just picked up the migrants and trafficked them into the country on their own. On their own, man. All right, here we got stuff going on here. The Save America Freedom Convoy, March 2nd. That's coming up. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. All right, if you're in that area, get in on it. Do a convoy. Convoys are, I kind of like the convoy idea, man. They're hard to infiltrate. There is no centralized organization usually that will be, siphoning money off the top of the system there. Right, Cleo, you can't cheat the system if it's simple. Keep it simple, stupid. That's what KISS, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. It's a motto that works all the time, man. Yes, this is known, Tina. Salvation Army is helping fund the illegals and the trafficking, and they're feeding them and all that stuff. So there's two different issues going on down at the border, man. There are these women and children and families that are coming in. The only ones that get in, though, are the ones that can pay the coyotes south of the border. So human trafficking has become the #1 source of income for the cartels. And then there's the governments that hate us infiltrating us with soldiers, basically, that are going to come in here, mercenaries that are going to come in here and cause trouble. And that's what Christopher Wray was just telling this sheriff that we were talking about yesterday, Butler County Sheriff or whatever it was, how these cells are going to start, causing trouble here in America. So my guess is it's somebody's trying to cause trouble for this country, and we have this deep state in this country, which I think is the source of all this, and then they try to make it look like Russia did it, or they make it try to look like other people did it. They try to make it look like a Trump guy tried to sneak a rifle into the convoy and was going to shoot sniper people, and then he's selling AK-47s to an undercover agent. I mean, it's just too fishy. That's what was at the bottom of that story yesterday, Greg Kelly. It's too fishy. People in the convoy didn't even hear about that. But all out in the news, this is out in the news. So was it even a real dude? Is somebody really going to get arrested and thrown in jail and tried? Yeah, they got a name, they got a guy, but nobody in the convoy knew about this guy. Odd. That's very odd, man. And then we got the military age men coming in, right? All men, and these are happening at two different places. Butler County is saying read between the lines. Okay, I read between the lines. I'm skeptical about everything. Skeptical always. I don't take anything as truth until I see it or hear it or feel it with my own senses, right? Well, all right, Patriots, another great gathering, another great meeting between you guys. I'm glad you could all join me. I hope this helps you all out in our fight for our country here. Let's see what we got. No joke, Biden, who gave consumers 33% food inflation, cuts Super Bowl Sunday video attacking snack food industry. Right, and unemployment is down and all that stuff, man. It doesn't even count the people who just dropped out of the workforce and stuff. It is a joke, though. It is a joke, Sylvia. Crazy, man. Crazy. We got another link here. I'll get that in. Thanks for putting these links together, man. Yeah, you can't fly out of China without the paperwork. You can't fly here without paperwork. How come these illegals are getting free plane tickets with no paperwork? It's crazy. We got Congress people saying that the migrants are their top priority now, not the American people. America first is so simple. That's another keep it simple, stupid thing. Our government is in place to take care of America. So why are they catering to all these other foreign interests right now? It's unbelievable. They get rid of George Santos for some alleged corruption, but Menendez is still in here. He's got gold bricks from Egypt in there in his garage, He's got a Porsche from, Spain or Portugal or something. It's crazy, man. We all know it's crazy. We all know we got to be on our guard and fighting against this. And we got to make sure that we are ready for some type of an event. We don't know what they're going to pull. Last time they pulled COVID, so no, it could be something like that. And really, if you just got 2 weeks of supplies, 2 weeks of water, sitting in jugs in your basement or in the garage or something, and just make sure you got supplies to float for 2 weeks. I think that is a bare minimum that we should all have on hand right now. And hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully we continue this battle and this straightens out and we win, like next week. All right, Patriots, thank you for joining me. Let's get back to our dinner, get some food in our bellies, and We'll meet you out there at Freedom Corner. All right, we got sirens for Jesus here. Oh my God, are the critters here? Are the critters here? No, they don't come here. All right, God bless you, Patriots. This is Jericho. Over and out.